Following up on the article about the Pakistani purchase of the J-35 from China, there's an article out of National Security Journal. China's J-35 stealth fighter won't fly for Pakistan. I certainly found this to be a curious article, especially after seeing the evidence put forward by the Chinese Aviation Corporation itself. So I went into the article a little bit, and the author, Christian Orr, points out in a televised interview, Pakistani Defense Minister dismissed the claims as unsubstantiated rumors that were, quote, good for Chinese defense sales. Which undoubtedly they have been. The success of the J-10 in the recent Operation Sindoor battle between Pakistan and India clearly showed that Chinese aircraft and Chinese hardware is up to par. I wanted to look a little bit more into this, though, because you question it based on some of the evidence. Here's what it says in this article. The news comes to us courtesy of Asia Pacific Defense Industrial Base reporter Dasake Sato in June 28, 2025 article for Defense Blog simply titled, Pakistan Denies J-35 Fighter Deal. That titular denial was issued by Pakistani Defense Minister Asif. In a televised interview, Asif dismissed the claims saying, I think it's only in the media. It's good for Chinese sales, in response to the question regarding the delivery of the jets by 2026. That's a non-denial denial. He's not denying it there. He did not say no. What he said is, I think it's only in the media. It's good for sales. Chinese defense sales, in response to question regarding the reported delivery by 2026. I don't see that as a denial. I see that as a non-denial denial. And based on the evidence, again, we'll go through it here. China's Aviation Industry Corporation released photos of a Pakistani pilot in J-35 cockpit. This is from Global Defense Corp. This is the photograph of the Pakistani pilot. Now, it does not show you the entire aircraft, but let's go to this. This is their image on their social media. Won't let me scroll too easily. All right, that's fine. But you can see it. It's the same photograph right here. So there is that. There is the ongoing interest of other nations around the world in the J-35 being documented around the world. Countries like Saudi Arabia, who are frustrated with restrictions on U.S. fighter jet sales. Specifically, the coding for the F-35. That seems to be a real stickler for the United States, and I can completely understand why. They just don't want to give that out to too many places. Obviously, our closest allies in NATO, in Israel, have these things. Is NATO, and Israel. Even though they aren't NATO, they sure seem to be. So that's Saudi Arabia. We have Egypt. Egypt, traditionally a U.S. ally, could be seeking to acquire J-35 fighter jets. We have images of Egyptian generals speaking to Chinese representatives about the J-35. We even have reports that Iran is looking to purchase J-10s or J-35s, which you can completely understand. The J-35, Iran is probably the one country right now that knows how well stealth works, and that you're not going to counter it with a fourth generation anything. So I would assume that they are also interested in a J-35. But I saw this article, and I just wanted to follow up on it. And this is no shade at it at the reporter. This is no shade at Christian Orr, who did this article. But this is a non-denial denial. It's a non-denial denial. He did not say, we are not purchasing it. He said, it's good for Chinese sales. And I think it's only in the media. What would you expect the defense minister for a nation who is in the midst of a large defense weapons acquisition, some of which are cutting-edge aircraft, to say, oh, I can't wait to get our J-35s. They're going to have those PL-17 missiles attached to them, too. Can't wait to use them. I see this as a non-denial denial. I really do. So I do believe Pakistan is going to get the J-35 by 2026. And I do not think that what we saw in this interview, what we heard, what we read, is a denial. I think the big picture considerations, and I'm going to put this article in there for everyone to see. I think the big picture considerations show that it is actually happening, because they're also purchasing AWACS, and I believe it's HQ-19 air defense systems, which are meant for low orbit satellites and ballistic missile defense. It'll be interesting to see if this sale moves forward, and I do think it will, because China and Pakistan both have issues with India, and it's in China's best interest to have a Pakistan that is as strong as possible as a buffer, as a distraction, as an ally with its conflicts with India. Because as you remember, back in 2020, I believe it was 2020, or it was around that time, there were incidents along the Chinese-Indian border where the two had army units with clubs, shovels, and other implements that literally, in hand-to-hand combat, were beating each other to death. Literally beating each other to death with clubs. So it's in their interest also to have a Pakistan that is right there, toe-to-toe with India. Hence the J-10 and the success of the PL-15 in Operation Sindoor. And although it wasn't completely successful, and I'm sure Pakistan suffered losses they're not admitting to also, the fact is the stuff worked. Whether India wants to admit it or not, it worked. So do I think Pakistan's getting the J-35? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think they'll have it in the time frame expressed in all of those articles. They'll start receiving it in 2026. Maybe even towards the end of 2025. We'll see. And of course, I will be watching here. Keep you informed. And keep me informed. Because, God, I love this kind of stuff. It's fun for me. Hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like. Subscribe. Share with a friend. Let them know. There's doubts whether Pakistan's going to get the J-35. But the denial is a non-denial denial, which is not a denial. Thanks. I appreciate you.